First W of 2025. How about them Niners, baby? Woo-hoo! Let's go.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Two fake tosses, and then to Kittle over the middle. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Purdy, back to throw. Pressure coming, steps away, looking to run, and he walks it in for the touchdown.
And look out from behind. It was Bosa.
Facing a 2nd and 10 of the 29. Ray goes in jet sweep motion, orbit motion. They give it to him on a handoff back. Turns the corner down the sideline. He's gone.
To McCaffrey right up the middle. And a stiff arm. McCaffrey for 6.
Intercepted by Nick Bosa. Running back the whole way. Cuts inside the 20. Makes a move on Kyle Allen. They finally drop Bosa on the 9-yard line.
Safety inside of Cooper top right. Stafford going to throw out right.
Intercepted and coming back the other way. Talanoa Hufanga.
They'll let him throw again. Wide open Deebo Samuel. Got a block from George Kittle. Deebo Samuel. There he goes. Foot on the gas. All the way. State number 2 pick. Buck still covers now. 3rd down and 12. Mahomes fired. Pass pick. Warner got it for San Francisco.
Jake Moody. Right for that right upright. It is good.
Niners win, that's all that matters. On to the next. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the first edition of Red and Gold Wrap here on the MI6 Sports Network. I hope all of you guys are doing great. I am, for one, doing fantastic here as we conclude week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. What a great slate of games that we had, but we're here to talk about one game and one team only, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. If you guys like what you guys are seeing, go ahead and give us a subscribe here on our network. Give us a subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find your podcast. You can find it there, as well as you can find it on YouTube as well. And yeah, give us a subscribe and a follow. We would really appreciate it. We were supposed to have Extra Point tonight, but we had some scheduling issues, so we had to postpone that to Wednesday. So Extra Point will be on Wednesday. Make sure you guys tune in for that. That's going to be a lot of fun with myself, James Gonzalez, and Ben Cruz. We're going to rock and roll in the football world and break it all down, talk about a great week 1 and talk about, preview week 2. So you won't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Maybe sprinkle in some college football here and there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. If you guys like what you guys are watching, go ahead and put it in the comments section and write whatever you want. There's no curse words or anything defamatory or derogatory, and I'll go ahead and read your comments live on the air. If you don't follow Hand Egg, go ahead and you can, go off to do some other stuff as well. But like my guy Macron Celebrini once said, the boys are humming. The boys are humming. And yes, the boys hummed indeed. It wasn't pretty, but the boys hummed indeed. indeed, and got the win here tonight.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
That's right, Brock. Bang, bang, Niner gang, and all that is what matters. All right, let's get into it. The 49ers go into Lumen Field in Seattle. They go into Seattle in game 1 of the 2025 NFL season, and they beat the Seattle Seahawks by a final score of 17-13. Wasn't pretty. It wasn't the best played game, but in the end, a win is a win. And like Macklin Celebrini once said, the boys are humming. The boys are humming. The boys hummed indeed and got the dub. My biggest takeaways, and let's start with the positives, all right? The positives was Brock Purdy looked like the second coming of Tom Brady in this game. And you're going to be like, whoa, Isaiah, whoa, hold on, everything. How could he be Tom Brady with no rings? How could he be Tom Brady, with no greatness? This is what I mean by that. When you watch Tom Brady in the past, Tom Brady used to be a quarterback that you never wanted to give the ball to for the final possession because you knew that if you gave the ball back to him, guarantee you 1,000% that Tom Brady was going to lead the team down the field for a field goal or a touchdown or whatever they needed to do to either tie the game or win the football game. And Brock Purdy, look, did he play great? No. Was that his best performance? No. But he did what you had to do to win the football game. He delivered in the clutch. He closed the deal. And that's why I think he played really good, because he closed the deal. He delivered when it mattered the most. When the Niners were down it was 10-10 and then it was 13-10. Well, Brock Purdy didn't panic. Brock Purdy wasn't scared of the moment. In fact, he embraced the moment. He embraced it. And he led the 49ers down the football field and, beautiful on that, I believe it's 2nd and goal. Takes the snap. He rolls to his right, sees the pressure coming, and fires a dart into the end zone. Was it supposed to be picked? Hell yeah, it was supposed to be picked. But you know what? He got the ball in to a tight window and he delivered, okay? He delivered. That's all that matters. Was it the prettiest performance? No. But he delivered, and that's all that matters. And he had 2 touchdown passes, 277 yards. He bounced right back up on his feet after throwing those interceptions. That's what you want from a quarterback. That is what a winning quarterback looks like. And so he played great. And he did his job when it mattered the most. So I think that was a great gutsy performance by Brock Purdy. I really liked how he played. Yeah, he's got a lot of things that he needs to work on to get better, but still doesn't freaking matter, because what are you supposed to do in the NFL? You're supposed to win. You're supposed to get the W. And so that is what happened. And Brock Purdy got a W. And that's why he is a winning quarterback, y'all. All right, my second takeaway from this, we're talking about positive takeaways, and then we're going to get into some negative takeaways. Some other positive takeaways that I did like was that Christian McCaffrey looked like the Christian McCaffrey of old. He ran the football effectively. He busted through some open holes and turned into big gains when they weren't really that wide open. I like to see that. I loved seeing, Ricky Pearsall get involved. He's now the number 1 receiver for your San Francisco 49ers. So love what I saw from Ricky Pearsall. Love seeing him, blow by guys, go across the middle and catch the ball. I mean, I liked what I saw from Pearsall. It looked good. I liked what I saw from Nick Bosa. Did he get a sack in the game? Not until the last play, but he was out there getting pressure on Sam Darnold. He was out there beating his guy, and that's what you want to see. A lot of the times, a lot of the guys can't get home, but at least you get pressure, and I like that from Bosa. Let's get into the negatives. Special teams. Yikes. We had a field goal, missed the 27. Jake Moody missed the 27-yard field goal. And that was absolutely inexplicable. That was something that cannot happen. And had he not redeemed himself later on, I think he would have been off this football team. The special teams also had a field goal block. And I don't blame Moody for the field goal block. We couldn't block anybody on offense. We couldn't block anybody on special teams. Our two of our tackles or protectors that were blocking for Jake Moody, they got their asses beat. And they got ran right through. And it wasn't pretty to watch. We got to fix the special teams. It was an issue last year. It was an issue the year before, and it's an issue this year. And why can we never fix our special teams? Is it's a mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't get why we can't fix our special teams. Kyle Shanahan said after the game, when asked if Jake Moody is still the kicker, he said yes and no questions asked. Basically, I think Jake Moody, there's going to be games, and I've been a big Jake Moody supporter. I want that kid to succeed. I think there's going to be games where he's going to cost us some games. And I think that, for the 49ers, for a team that has Super Bowl aspirations, that's something that can't happen. And so we got to work on our special teams. We can't, let what happened in Seattle happen again. That was a major concern. Also, the defensive line. I know I praised Bosa earlier, but the defensive line did not look good at all. I mean, yes, you could say Sam Darnold was getting the ball out quick, but I also can counter with the fact that our defensive ends that we drafted, Alfred Collins, CJ West, and Michael Williams, didn't do anything. They didn't even produce 1 ounce of pressure. And I know it's the first game, but I've seen this crap from Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw, where they're highly rated defensive linemen and they just can't get any pressure. I've seen this before many, many times. And I hope it's just one game. I hope next week when I talk to you guys about the San Francisco 49ers, I hope I am just eating a gigantic slice of humble pie. But what happened out there for the defensive line, for the young guys, it was not promising at all. I mean, CJ West could not beat one-on-one. Alfred Collins was getting crushed. Michael Williams couldn't even beat a one-on-one, let alone 3 defenders. So it's worrisome because these 3 guys are the 3 guys that are going to be the next gen, so-called next gen of the 49ers defensive line. They're supposed to be that good. That's why you drafted them. That's why you let all those veterans go, because you had them. Well, first game, not promising. We were getting gashed all game against the run. Seahawks were running the football right down our throats and with ease. And, yes, I don't need you to get, 1 sack, 2 sack, 3 sacks a game. I need you to be able to create some pressure. I need you to be able to at least get close to the quarterback. I need you to be able to stop the run and shut that down. Guys like Khalil Davis, some of the veterans were able to stop it late, but the young guys just absolutely worrisome. No tackles for either of them any of them in the game. So that was worrisome. The offensive line, it's worrisome too, because the offensive line, I've been saying for years, that's the problem with the 49ers. We cannot block. We cannot run block. Purdy was running for his life all game. And I think he was pressured 19 times and 28 dropbacks. That's not good. And the Seahawks are not really that strong of a defensive line. And you let that happen. So if we're letting that happen to Seattle, imagine what great defensive lines that we're going to face, like the Rams and others, what they're going to do to us. We're going to get crushed. And Brock's already hurt. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'm worried about the offensive line's ability to block. I'm scared that we're going to just make Purdy run around. This is all on Shanahan, because we told Shanahan for years. This is what I've been saying. I want Shanahan to have that Jim Harbaugh-like mentality. By the way, best Charger to ever wear the Charger uniform. But I want him to have that mentality where, with Kyle, invest in the offensive line, invest in the trenches. That's where you get it done. And so you know, with Kyle, his refusal to, that's where we always lose big games. Because our quarterbacks don't have enough time. Our quarterbacks cannot have time to set their feet, throw the football. That's why we always lose big games. And so I'm worried about our offensive line. Brock's already hurt, like I said. But let's get into the injuries. The last takeaway for me was the injury. George Kittle left the game, did not return. He's got a hamstring injury. Fred Warner was down for a little bit. He came back, which was good news. Trent Williams Trent Williams, he left the game, but he came back, which was good. But I'm worried now because George Kittle, like I said, he did not come back. It was revealed today he's got a major hamstring injury. He's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks. That's a big blow for us. That's another major weapon gone. Now Brock Purdy. Folks, this is my reaction. We really have to deal with this nonsense again. For another week, another year, another injury. It's just so tiresome of this. Like, when do we stop getting bit by the injury bug? Like, it's just so frustrating. Now we might have to see Mac Jones. And I'm praying that Purdy's injury is not some type of AC joint sprain or whatever it is. It's not severe. But what do we say? This is why you have to invest in the offensive line. You see why Joe Burrow's always getting hurt? Because he always keeps getting sacked and hit. The best quarterbacks are the ones that don't get hit, that don't get sacked much. You know why Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl last year? Because he was always up on his feet. So Brock Purdy is hurt again. I'm worried because he keeps getting hurt now. This is like the third time he's hurt in the last 7 games. We need Brock to stay upright and we need Brock to stay healthy. Because if any more people get down, we're going to be freaking soon start to go to Curtis Rocky and Mac Jones. I mean, we might have to go to Mac Jones this week. Brock Purdy cannot keep getting hurt. Brock's our best quarterback. And I'm worried now because that toe injury that Kyle said was more severe than the shoulder, which was, I guess it's good news. But it better not be turf toe. It better not be turf toe. Because turf toe is a severe injury that can ruin someone's career and end a career very, very shortly. So, Brock's hurt again. Kittle's hurt. When can we stop getting bit by the injury bug, man? Like, oh my gosh, it's like every year of this nonsense. Like, I don't know why my football team is just so freaking cursed. But yeah, those are the negatives. I think one more positive I do want to add is that, guys, oh my gosh, Kyle Shanahan is calling bootleg and drawing up bootleg pass plays again. That's great news. We've been wondering, where is the bootleg play action? Where is that? Where you get the quarterback fake the run, get the quarterback out of the run. That's what Purdy does well. And he finally caught a couple of those yesterday. That's what Kyle needs to call more of, the bootleg play action game. Like, I'm so happy that they're back. They were gone for like 2 to 3 years, and now they're back. Like, if you don't have a good offensive line, well, you got to get the quarterback away from that offensive line and the pressure. So I'm glad that Kyle finally called that. For some reason, with the Niners offense, it just seems like the play action game, the bootlegs, always work out very well for us. So I want to see Kyle call a lot more of those. I think that it will be really good for the 49ers. All right, let's get into the preview of the next game. Right, we're playing the New Orleans Saints in the Dome. I'm going to give you three keys to winning the game for the 49ers. Number one, the 49ers got to get off to a fast start. I don't care if the New Orleans Saints are the worst football team in the NFL. Playing in the Superdome is not easy because it's always so loud. So you got to get off to a great start and really quiet down the crowd in the Dome. Like, if you can do that, you can neutralize the Saints' advantage when it comes to the crowd. And also, if you get off to a great start, which you should, because the Saints suck as a football team, you should be able to do very well, especially if Mac Jones is starting. Because if Brock's not starting and it's Mac Jones that is starting, getting to a great start is even more crucial, especially against the Saints. Because let's face it, the Saints, they're not that good of a football team. They don't have a quarterback, but you don't want to be down with that crowd roaring. You don't want to be down with that Saints defensive line with Cam Jordan getting to pin their ears back. No, you want to be able to have a lead, cruise to a win in which you should win. It's going to be inexplicable if you don't win. So get off the fast start is one takeaway. The quiet crowd in the dome. Number two, what you got to do is you got to get after the quarterback. Have a spot on Spencer Rattler because we know he can run a little bit, but make him be a pocket passer. I don't believe that Spencer Rattler could be a quarterback, whether it's Spencer Rattler or Tyler Show, if he comes in. I don't believe both of those guys have the capabilities to beat us with his arm. So I think that you got to be able to pressure him, put a spy, stop the quarterback run, and not let him get out of the pocket. Make him stay in the pocket and make him throw the football. If he is able to slice and dice us, then, well, it's even more worrisome than I thought with our secondary. But I don't believe he can. So make him be a pocket passer. And then the last takeaway for the San Francisco 49ers is stuff the run. I mean, that's part of the second takeaway. But, Kellen Moore, when he was with the Eagles, he liked to run the football, right? So he's running the same scheme that he is with the Philadelphia Eagles like he is with New Orleans now. So stop the run. Stop Alvin Kamara in the backfield. Stop the run. Make Tyler Show or Spencer Rattler throw the football, and you're going to win this football game. And then I think for the 49ers, the other thing you got to do is, if it's Brock Purdy, obviously keep Brock on his feet. If it's Mac, keep Mac on his feet. But if it's Brock, I just want to see good decisions from Brock. Going against the Saints defense that's not that great, I want Brock to have a bounce back performance. No picks in this football game for Brock Purdy. So that's my takeaways, or that's my keys to win a victory for the San Francisco 49ers. But it wasn't pretty, guys. It wasn't pretty at all for the 49ers. It was not pretty at all in this game. We got the win, and it feels good. Now we got to play better in the Dome against the New Orleans Saints. I'm actually going to be in Arizona to watch that game. I'm going to be going to the Cardinals game, so that's going to be a lot of fun. First time there. But guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate everybody for commenting here on the first episode of Red and Gold Wrap. 49ers beat the Seahawks 17-13. Now we wait about the injury to Brock Purdy. We wait for George Kittle's return, hopefully to get no more injuries the rest of this week and into the New Orleans game. But guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate for everybody for tuning in. Gallon, my guy, commented and he said, no, they are not. I don't know what he's referring to there, but thank you for commenting, Callan. But guys, it's been a great show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week here on 49ers Talk. Have a great night, everybody, and let's go Niners.
Bang, bang, not a game.
Toss, two fake tosses, and then to Kittle over the middle. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Purdy back to throw. Pressure coming. Steps away, looking to run, and he walks it in for the touchdown.
And look out from behind. It was Bosa.
Facing a 2nd and 10 of the 29. Ray goes in jet sweep motion, orbit motion. They give it to him on a handoff back. Turns the corner down the sideline. He's gone.
To McCaffrey right up the middle. And a stiff arm. McCaffrey for 6.
Intercepted by Nick Bosa, running back the whole way, cuts inside the 20, makes a move on Kyle Allen. They finally grab Bosa at the 9-yard line.
man. That's all that matters. On to the next. Bang, bang, out of game.